getting them to join me.
Okay, we are back in session. And under new business, approval of special events. Any special events
We
coming up?
do, yes, we have three. First one, Seneca Falls American Legion Post 366 Memorial Day Parade and Ceremony. Monday, May 28th, 8:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. 8:45 lineup, 9 o'clock step off. They will be getting with Chief on to finalize that anytime now. And insurance already submitted. Second one, Seneca Falls Farmers Market, Wednesday, starting in June 6th through mid-October, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. every Wednesday in People's Park, insurance pending. And the last one, Seneca County House of Concern, Canal Crawl, Paddling Poverty. Excuse me, it's their third annual, Saturday, August 18th, 2018, 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Paddling from Oak Island and Waterloo to the Community Center for Food and Entertainment. Like I said, third year in a row. Insurance pending. There was a fourth that would have possibly been done today, but I put it off until next month. That would be for the Cyclone Erie. There was some information that may have changed a little bit, so I said let's hold off on that until we have all that for you. So the first one, the American Legion's, the parade, the insurance is good. I recommend that one as is. The other two, I recommend insurance. Insurance pending, pending
Insurance. Okay. Jim, and since you're the first one to do this tonight, I'm going to ask that we'll say okay to these, but I need something in writing in our packets
I forgot.
for these motions from now on.
We talked about it in committee the other day, and I forgot to do it. So
Okay.
I will make sure I do that. I can draw that up and have Nikki put it right in the agreement back.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
I
so
apologize. I'll make sure I get it.
I make a motion to approve the special events with the two that's pending insurance that you just spoke about.
I'll
Do we have a
second.
second?
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. We did not get any bids on the electrical service work, so we will not be opening any bids for electrical service work. Summer play program.
Last month I submitted a kind of a chart, a new flow chart, just using the budget we have, but kind of readjusting it. Just wanted to give you guys a chance to look at it and give you another chance tonight to ask any questions. Otherwise, I don't think it necessarily needs a motion. Just wanted to make sure you guys were aware of it and kind of we're okay with it.
We were sending it out. What was the date we said?
May 11th, everything will go to the printer.
Printer.
And the goal is to have it out in the mailboxes by Friday of Memorial Day weekend. I want to get that out earlier. We've struggled the last couple of years of next thing over June, and I just don't think that's sufficient time to get summer together. So that was our goal, and we're close. We may be ready by this Friday, but we know we have at least for next week. Get all that out. And we changed the format last year of how we get people signed up, get young people signed up for play program by doing 3 nights where people have to come down at night. We have some requirements through the health department where they have to show vaccinations and all those kind of things. So we do it in the evening, and it seems to have made it a little easier to get our act together. So that's all. Just like I said, I don't think it requires a motion. I'm not asking for more money. I just want to give you an idea. That's right. Something strange, right? But yes, so that's all. So we can, I just wanted to give you guys a chance to ask any questions you have.
And Vic and I talked to you about that, the printing is all within, it's in the budget.
Correct.
For the program.
That's correct.
Okay. Purchase acoustical soundboards for the control room. Chief, again, I'm going to give you a disclaimer. I'll allow you to do this tonight, but we're going to have specific motions in our packets. Do we have, I didn't see the specific motions.
Should.
Oh, it should have?
They've been done for weeks.
Okay.
I emailed them to you. I did.
Okay.
And I talked to Ben about this.
Okay. Okay.
And I had talked to Bev about this and his money for this to be done.
Okay. Yeah, it's
Oh, I'm good.
okay, it's a work in progress, guys. I know it's a different way of doing business, but it, you know, it's one of the things really that the auditors have talked about. They need more specific resolutions for things, and it doesn't catch us behind the 8 ball in years to come when we need those resolutions. So, resolution is that the town purchase and install 8 Colorsonics acoustical wall panels from MBI Products in the amount of $2,684. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Did you second that, Lou?
Yes, I did.
Okay, discussion.
So these wall panels are for our control room. We found, we've actually been working on it for months with different committees and with B&L on acoustical issues within that room. It's a very large room. It's all concrete floors, concrete walls, hard ceiling, and we have 4 working desks in there. And you cannot get 2 people in there working at one time, talking on the phone is an issue because of the acoustical issues, and this is what B&L has recommended to help with that issue. The panels are going to be purchased, and then they're going to be installed by our own in-house town maintenance.
Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Second resolution is be resolved that the Seneca Falls Police Department enter into a new taser assurance program with Taser Axon at $3,944 a year for the next 5 years, totaling $19,720. I need a second.
I'll second it.
Discussion.
So what this is our tasers that we purchased 5 years ago are out of warranty. What this does is instead of in another 5 years coming to the town board and saying we need new tasers, this is easier to budget and program out to where we split the payments up into 5-year periods. So then at the end of that 5 years, so currently we're getting new tasers. This is to enter into a new program, so in 5 years, 5 more years, we'll have new tasers when these new tasers are out of warranty.
Now, sometimes, do you go to programs where, you know, people in the program will tase a police officer?
Oh, yeah, I've seen
You know, testing?
Where are you going with this, Greg?
Well, the new member of the board gets to test these tasers.
Right now?
No, when we get them, okay?
So it's just a simple warranty there.
So Doug, we're appointing you to that committee.
Doug, I see Lieutenant Snyder get it, you don't want it.
Okay, so, motion's made and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Third motion is therefore be it resolved that the Seneca Falls Police Department shall purchase 2 new taser weapons at the cost of $2,340. I need a second.
Second.
Discussion.
So what this is when we originally went through a taser program back in 2012, we started with 2. Those 2 tasers did end up on the taser assurance plan. At this point, with the last resolution, all 17 tasers are going to be bundled into one clean package, and that is not at any additional cost to the last proposal. That is just bringing everything in together. So in 5 years, we'll have 17 tasers.
So, motion was made, properly seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. I'm gonna make a motion to table the standard workday reporting resolution until a special meeting. I have to discuss this further with our attorney, and I think we need to do a little more homework on it to see what we need. If that's okay with everyone, I'll like a second on that.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Assessor attendance at annual Cornell seminar. A motion authorizing Assessor Stephanie Holst to attend the annual Cornell seminar, July 15th and 19th. Approval of a check issued to New York State Assessors Association for $400 for the classes. Approval of a check issued to the Ramada Inn for $624.75 for the hotels. And a cash advance of $400 to cover meals and travel expenses. An expense report will be submitted upon completion of the courses along with any advance overpayment.
Second it.
Motion made and seconded. Is there any discussion? There are per diem rates for areas that we travel to, and I think we have to start looking at per diem rates for areas we travel to. Per diem rates being, what's the cost for breakfast, what's the cost for lunch, what's the cost for dinner.
Right.
Yep.
I've talked to the auditor about that, and we're going to put that, the board has to put a plan in place for that.
Okay,
So we are going to do that. We're going to submit it to the board.
we're going to submit it for the board, but I'd like to find out the per diem rates for, I'd like to only give people checks to cover the per diem rates, not the $400.
We can't do that until we get the policy.
Is there any policy in effect that, okay.
You went on a special meeting again, 21st?
We could discuss that at the special meeting for per diem rates. I think
Yeah,
that,
we can do that.
I think we need to know the per diem rates, and I'd like to start that now. Yes, we need a policy, but seeing no policy, we're allowed to dictate. So I'd like to make a motion to amend this, that instead of $400, that the only check that's issued is for the per diem rates for that area, which is in Cornell down in Ithaca. So how many days she's going to be down there for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And you don't receive advance mileage. You do the mileage after you return.
That's standard practice everywhere, isn't it?
Yeah, we do that.
Yeah.
We do that. We didn't have one thing together.
Okay, so the amendment will be just, I'll find out the per diem rates, and she'll only receive the per diem rate check for those 4 days that she's gonna be there. Okay.
Did you pay that in advance?
Yes, you can pay that in advance, that's legal. Yep, yep.
And that's to become a new standard procedure for all of us, right?
Yes.
We're not, I was
Once
not
the
single
board approves it.
Stephanie out, but
No, no,
we've all
no.
done
Yeah.
training of some sort, most of us
Yes.
have this year.
Yes,
Okay.
so.
So right now, you're gonna give it the full.
I'm
We're gonna give everything right now, for now, right?
No, I'm gonna find out the per diem rates and I'll announce them. You know, approve her attendance at this conference, but what she gets issued for the advanced check doesn't have to be issued to her until July 15th, and I will
Okay.
approve her at the conference for everything except for the $400. And at this point, it will be decided when we talk about it at our special meeting, and I'll have those rates set.
All right.
Okay, so just, I make a motion to amend, to just delete the $400, and that'll be brought up again at the special meeting. Second, discussion. All in favor of the amendment, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Amendment passes. All in favor of the amended motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. We have a resignation here. I, Mike Booth, will be retiring on July 1st, 2018 from Town of Seneca Falls Highway Department.
I hate to see Mike leave. He's done a wonderful job since he's been on with us. I know he had health issues with his heart last year, and I guess I can't blame him for retiring. I hate to see him go, but I wish him the best of luck. He did a real nice job. He's been on with us. And I'll accept the resignation.
So, I make the motion?
Make the motion.
Second it? Okay. Discussion. I would have put regret in, but he's retiring, and retirement is great, so I wouldn't put a regret in not to anyone.
That's it.
But Mike has been a long-term employee here, and he's done the town and village well. So, good luck to Mike. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Advertise for an MEO mechanic position.
I'll make the motion that we advertise the MEO mechanic position to replace Mike Booth.
I'll second it.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. This is the FYI, there will be a townwide pickup for leaves and brush only the day of May 14th. Leaves and brush must be at roadside Monday, May 13th. There will be one pass per street starting Monday. No return trips will be made. Only one truck load per household. Leaves must be in paper bags. They will not be picked up in plastic bags or in piles along street. Brush should be placed in small piles for easy pickup. Not one large pile, please. No branches longer than 4 feet in length, 12 inch in diameter, and placed parallel to the road. The town has paper leaf bags for sale at the highway department at a cost of $2 for 5 bags for your convenience. If you miss the pickup, you can always drop your items off at our drop-off area at 187 Oakland Street. Place your items in their assigned areas. Please, no plastic bags for leaves. There are new rules in the place at the drop-off area. These rules are on the town website. Thank you for your cooperation. So that's a FYI.
Is that the same weekend every year, or is it different according to the weather?
Can I add something under discussion there?
Pardon?
Are we gonna do a spring cleanup this year?
That's it.
That's it.
No.
I see a lot of chairs and beds and mattresses by the road, people haven't caught on yet. Are we gonna leave them there?
You're misreading the paper, it's been advertised.
Are we
We can do
gonna,
that every year, and then your code and zoning enforcement, usually we have to.
okay, that's another one of those issues that I wanna talk to the board about. I think Seneca Falls is lacking in that department. I think we need to address that. Somehow or other, I've been studying other towns and how they're handling it. I think our main streets, our side streets are becoming very, very, very bad. I hear comments from a lot of people daily that it seems to be people that are renting houses to other people, especially in certain areas. They tend to put everything out by the road. And it's not a good draw, 3-4 doors down from the National Women's Hall of Fame to see mattresses and garbage on the road constantly. I see how Auburn's handling it, and maybe I think I'm gonna investigate that a little bit more. They have a program where their renters are paying $150 for a registration if they have a rental fee, a rental property. What that does is they become registered to the town that they're gonna uphold the rules and regulations of that town. And once they're cited by any individual, or the zoning officer goes, now he has the authority to go in and make a decision based on what he's seen. He can actually go on the property. If you look at some houses, what's going on at them is ridiculous. And we need to address that. We have to come up with something as a board that right now, I don't believe our zoning and codes has enough teeth to do what they need to do. I think we have to look at that. Our codes and zoning laws have been in effect forever, and it's not working the way it's written.
Can we, Chief, is it possible for officers when they're making patrol and they see that, can they give a ticket or give a citation for having that out there, is it against the code? I know like mowing grass, if you put grass out in the street, it's against the code not to do it. I don't know, you can do a citation for it, is it possible that the officers could do that?
It is, but it's really a code violation that
yeah.
needs to be addressed by the code.
We as a board can make those rules, that these things need to be addressed. They really do.
You know, another place, Lou, while you bring it up, I'm glad you did, is we're having trouble with downtown, with renters that don't have access to the back.
Yes.
They enter from Fall Street.
Yes.
Who use our barrels, and you go
They
by.
fill them up.
And then you have people going through and getting cans out, and they're making a mess, and our
It's
guys,
terrible.
Wyatt and Aaron will go down and clean it up.
It's terrible.
In between a pickup.
It's terrible.
So I'm glad you brought that up, that's something we need to look at. as well.
This is really getting to a point where it's one of those things that I'm tired of hearing about it. It's a simple thing that all we have to do is revisit the code and the zoning book and say, as a board, this is what we want to do. We don't want our downtown like that anymore. We don't want our side streets like that.
I agree with you, Lou, and some of the discussions that I've had is that we hire a full-time zoning officer, and so we'll have 1.5 people in the zoning office. One person will be an enforcement agent, the other person will deal with day-to-day permits
Right.
and going out in the field, and that person can be an enforcement agent also.
Okay, right now, again, if that department was here, I would be speaking to them, but they're not. And what I'm gonna say now is when I read the zoning report, okay, all I see is permits issued.
No.
No,
If you look at the back, it's
look in the back,
violation.
Right.
he's
I
not
want-
out there where he's got violations hanging out.
Right. I wanna see the, from beginning to end. I wanna see where we followed through. We called them and said, you can't put a couch to the road, you can't put a mattress to the road. He tags them, they don't pick it up, they still leave it there. Now he petitions them in the court. I wanna know how many times that person has been in the court. I think that should be part of our report. We as a board can look and say, these people have been repeat, they keep going through this, and we have to do something different. But right now, what I look at when I see it is,
Yeah, it's got property maintenance,
Property maintenance.
unregistered motor vehicle,
right,
comply date, corrected date.
right. I wanna see the chairs, I wanna see mattresses, I wanna see yards.
Well, you got a problem with that.
We have nothing,
You don't have a person who's licensed to do property maintenance code
no,
inspections.
right. I was told that by the county.
That's correct.
Our person doesn't have the proper,
That's correct.
right.
So we have to become more of an enforcement agency with teeth in those enforcement rules versus a complaint driven.
Right,
And right now, we're complaint driven.
right,
You have
and
to
it's
hire-
not working,
You have to hire a person with a property maintenance code credential
right.
to do
The
this.
county has all those people. For some reason or another, we don't. The largest town in the county, and it looks terrible.
Yep, it does.
It looks terrible.
We'll be discussing that.
Is that gonna be at our next meeting in April?
We can.
And the board members all pick up, Doug? Oh, Doug?
It's okay.
Wait, wait.
Just tase me, I'll be
Did all the councilmen happen to pick up a copy of the employee
Yeah.
handbook? Okay, the last time it was updated was 2011.
That needs to be updated.
Right, there's one thing in there in particular, we're working on all departments 5 days a week. The highway department, when it was a town, they wrote in that they would work 4 days a week in the summer. I think that's something we should look at. I feel as though we're making these changes in the offices, I feel as though it should be that way in the field too. If we have in highways, it says the work is an 8-hour per day, 5 day a week, 40 hours per week for highway employees. During the summer, peak time, during the summer and fall months, the work week is 10 hours per day, 4 days a week. I don't agree with that.
And
I think we should look at
I
that.
agree that all departments, we are you know, any
We're
municipalities.
24/7, 7 days a week. I think we should be working to increase hours, not
Services that
decrease.
could be at an optimum level in 5 days a week versus 4
Right.
days a week.
The next thing is I make a motion, we take away all vacation from employees. I think people should be,
Boy, you really,
Come out.
Get the tase, chief, get the tase.
If I see you hanging from a tree tomorrow, you want me to cut the rope or what? Just leave it here.
I don't understand why we're paying people to take time off. I mean, you know, if you work construction, you're there every day.
Mr. Ferrara is on a roll tonight.
Sorry. It's worth the phone, yeah.
I move to make him the taser person.
There you go.
How long are those leaks?
I know they have a
Don't
short
reach.
reach, because we talked about them.
Watch your back.
No, you don't turn on that.
I knew I'd get it right.
Okay, under L. Reclassify position as salary matrix and increase wage
Wait,
of
wait, excuse me. We didn't say if we're gonna do a spring cleanup. Are we gonna have it passed for a spring cleanup?
I think we can do a spring cleanup. I think,
Okay.
let's have one in June.
Okay, we need to get it publicized in the paper, and then this stuff that's by the road.
We'll wait till the highway superintendent comes back,
You
say,
can set a date.
move, he can set the date, but move that we have a spring cleanup sometime in June. That's my motion.
You have spring.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion
One
passes.
more part.
Oh,
I'm hearing that people that aren't residents, that do have, they own property elsewhere, they're bringing their debris into Seneca Falls and putting it by our
and
road. So I don't know how much more stuff people can have. You can only have 10 couches.
that's a concern, but we really can't deal with that.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you,
Motion to spring cleanup in June.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
thank you.
Mr. Ferrara, as I did the department heads, if you want to bring up any motions, please write them up in the future, okay?
Do you hear that, Kim? He has been.
All in favor of that? Did we vote on that?
Spring cleanup? Aye.
Clean up
Aye, in June,
Yeah,
sometime in June.
sometime in June.
sometime in June.
Okay. Okay. Under L, reclassify position and salary matrix and increase wage of real property tax service aid.
Can I add,
Open it up. Same as last month.
can I add to this?
Right there.
P and Q
Yeah.
and L,
Yeah.
they were just hired on, so I'd like to leave them on.
Let's just go one by one.
Okay, all right.
So, yeah, I need a motion. I just read it, I didn't motion.
Okay, I'll make the motion. Second it.
Do I have a second on that motion?
Second.
You made the motion, Dave?
Two.
You made the motion.
You want me to make a motion for these three people to,
No,
No.
no, just the resolution?
just a resolution.
Okay, I make a motion that we do this resolution.
Okay, I need a second.
Second.
Discussion. I stated some before, I think everyone who was here before heard my comments. I'd like to ask for some legal advice on that. Mr. Forsythe?
I've spoken with various members of the board, and I would advise you that items L through, looks like T, I believe should be tabled and really put together in some form of recognizable procedure. You have collateral impacts to these kinds of things going on. Right now, I don't need to remind the board that you are presently in negotiations with a bargaining unit that works for the town. Doing something like this in the middle of a negotiation is at best foolhardy and at worst, just plain stupid.
I don't agree.
Fine.
We've
I'm
done
not
it
asking-
last month.
I'm not asking you to agree, okay? I'm just, you want my advice, I'm giving you my advice. I'm telling you to table them and have a classified position. Right now, what you're doing is off the reservation. If you want to do it, go ahead and do it.
You've been doing it for the last 2 months.
Go ahead and do it.
All of a sudden now, this month, you want to speak up against it with this matrix system that we've been doing, and I'm just telling you right now, there's 3 people on here that we're going to take off because one was a new hire, well, 2 of them are new hirees, and one of them got a nice raise back in during the budget.
I'll answer it this way, David. How many claims will the town have to take before you get the idea that there are procedures that you should follow? You have employment counsel that you pay. Why don't you use them and talk to them? So you do what you want to do. You want my advice, I'm giving you my advice. If you don't want to follow it, that's fine. I can't compel anybody to follow the advice. I can only give it. I don't think it's a smart move. But you do what you
Well,
want to do.
my question is, we've done this for the last 2 months, and all of a sudden now you're coming up with this.
Also, we know that this has nothing to do with the police and their union, and we're not talking to the highway people while they consider unionizing. So these are all the staff members that don't have any union affiliation.
Have you
Or
spoken with
pending
each and every
union.
staff member?
Pardon?
Have you spoken with each and every staff member?
We did it through the department heads.
Now, have you spoken with each and every department?
I just answered you.
And did you have a policy in place for what the current criteria?
We're using the district, I'm a teacher again. We're using the town's policies. We're using those definitions of step, we're using those matrices. So we're using, the whole idea is to bring the town's employees in line with its own documents.
Go ahead and do it.
I make a move that we go into executive session. Make a motion, I need a second. See, no second, then I'm gonna have to bring this up in public. Basically, there was some, the personnel committee made some decisions in the last 2 weeks that could get us in litigation. I had to remove 2 members from the personnel committee because I didn't want it to come back on the town in the future that they made some grave mistakes and no action was taken. I believe that this action taken tonight is going to have a direct result on some negotiations we're having with other employees. And if you've ever sat in on negotiations, if you've ever, you don't give pay raises to management. You don't give pay raises to other people who are outside the union when you're negotiating with the union. It's just an uncalled big mistake to do. The people who got the pay raises last month, I considered them to have a good rationale for pay raises. They took civil service tests, they got promoted to positions, and they earned those promotions and pay raises. I think we need to wait on this until budget time and discuss it at budget time. I think to start looking at matrices outside the budget time when we raised taxes to almost to $9 per thousand, that I think this is, our responsibility is for the town of Seneca Falls. I do not believe that we're being financially responsible to the town of Seneca Falls after all we did this year to raise taxes, 2.5% increases to all employees, and I think that we have to wait to budget time. We're doing ourselves a disservice, and we're not looking after the town in a financially responsible manner.
So is the floor open for discussion, or no? Is it open
Yes.
for discussion?
Yes.
The thing is I do agree with you that it needs to be done during the budget process. But unfortunately, we have started doing things and we're halfway into this. We started a couple of years ago by giving the highway superintendent raises. We gave the wastewater treatment plant superintendent a raise. We had a hiring freeze, but then we hired an IT person in December. Then we hired, instead of one person for the wastewater, I don't know if I guess it's the water department, not the wastewater treatment. Instead of hiring one person, we hired two. We gave a wage adjustment to two people in the wastewater treatment area. We gave court clerks, water department, like you said or whatever, that you feel that they took civil service tests. Well, there's people within the town or whatever in other departments that have taken on additional responsibilities. And as far as you saying that everybody, and I said it earlier, whatever, I'm not trying to contradict you, but there's department heads that were told during budget process that they were at the top of their matrix, therefore they were not given any raises. We tried to address that in the budget, and what came out of that was, well, we have to raise taxes so much, so we can't give you anything. So how can we discriminate against 3 or 4 people and say we shouldn't give these other people raises when we've already done it? I don't think it's an ideal situation. I've told you that before. I worked for the village of Seneca Falls. We had unions. Everybody got the same raise because exactly what Attorney Foster said, it leaves a bad taste in people's mouth. Well, how come he got a raise? How come I'm not getting a raise? But I have no idea why all of a sudden either we decided to study this matrix at this time. But nevertheless, things have been done for other people. And I feel that, the things or whatever should be done. There's 3 people there. I don't believe new hires that have been with the town for less than a couple of months should get a pay increase. Down the road, if it's merited through their job performance, fine. Another person was given a healthy raise in December. That person isn't. So there's 2 or 3 people there. I feel that some of these people have gone above and beyond and made some repairs to this building, which is not that old, and saved us a substantial amount of money. And so I do feel, going forward, how we handle it after this, that's up to the total board. But I just wanted to say that.
Notice in the beginning of the meeting, I said we table this and reflect on it and look at it for the next month and discuss what we're doing. I received a note from someone, and I just think we gotta hold off and stop this. We're not being financially responsible, and my responsibility is that we have to be financially responsible, and this is not financial responsibility. And when we wholesalely giving people raises who we've never talked about before, I think is wrong. And I think we probably need to call Mr. Romer in on this. And it's going to adversely affect our negotiations with the highway and with the police. I wanted to go into executive session, no one said anything about it, no one wanted to talk about it in executive session, so I'm bringing it public. I am against these increases, and I wanted to table them, have a little bit more time to discuss them as a whole, and rationalize them. And I did ask for that, but we'll put, if it's the vote of this board to go ahead with them, then so be it.
I think if we're kicking the can down the road, like Vic said, we've done this with no policy. We don't have any policy. So I think in this instant, we should follow through with what we started and then start with a policy to address it going forward as quick as we can, that we don't do it again. I think in the meantime, we were all looking at the matrix, I believe, to try and fix inequalities that were in there. And I think we found some that were addressed, and maybe we should just take care of those, and then again, start with our policies. I don't really know how one would affect the other as far as negotiations, because I just think that that's something they'd have to negotiate for. If we gave Aaron or whoever a raise, and they feel as though they being the police, they being the highway, if they feel as though they're entitled to that, they'll have to negotiate for that. That's not something that's just going to be handed to them. I think that because we did see inequalities in the matrix, and we did commit to a point to address them, I feel we should. I think I agree with Vic on this one, that we have been doing it, from the highway superintendent on down.
Great, any more discussion? We'll go to a vote. That was, motion was made and properly seconded. All in favor?
Of this particular one, L?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes? All in favor?
No.
And this
we just-
resolution,
we're talking
and
about
this-
taking her off because
Oh,
she's just,
taking her off.
she's a new hire.
Well, the motion was made and properly
Yeah.
Right,
seconded.
so,
Yeah, I
so,
said
so
it.
we could talk about
You
it,
got
so
it.
we're just voting it down.
So,
Vote it down.
vote it down then. All in favor? No. All opposed?
Can I ask a question? Can I?
No, discussion's over. All opposed?
Nay.
Nay.
Nay,
Is that 4 nays and what?
nay.
Are
And,
you voting no?
yeah,
Okay, 1, 2, 3,
It's fine.
5
Okay,
nays.
since all these were presented as motions, and I have no idea which ones you're pulling now, I'll let someone else motion them. I'll go to N. See no motion, we'll move on.
Wait.
Second, we're trying-
We're doing M, right?
Yes.
Position of assessor and salary matrix.
So I'll make a motion to reclassify the position of assessor in the salary matrix.
Second.
Is there any discussion? The discussion I have, is the salary going up, or we just?
No.
Okay.
Salary's
Because,
not going up.
right, because we're still negotiating with her on her work week, we decided not to put a dollar figure on that at all. We're just putting her
Oh,
job
just-
description in line with where she should be on, with that job on the step, but not taking it that additional step to actually assign a salary.
Okay,
So it's a resolution just to change the grade from 9 to 13.
Right.
No salary increase.
any other further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? No. N.
Wait a minute, 1 no.
Yeah, one no.
Okay.
N, reclassify position and salary matrix and increase range of recreation cleaner 2 position.
That resolution is to change the grade level of cleaner 2 in Parks and Recreation from grade 2, level 2 to grade level 4 in the salary matrix, with an increase in wage from $15.83 an hour to $16 an hour for Dwayne Swim as cleaner 2.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Nay. Reclassify positions of building maintainer 1 and building maintainer 2 in salary matrix and increase wages of building maintainer 1 and building maintainer 2.
Resolution to change the building maintainer positions titles to building maintainer 1 and building maintainer 2. Additionally, to change the grade level of building maintainer 1 from grade level 4 to salary matrix to grade 8, with an increase from wage from $21.09 an hour for Wyatt Nicholson for $25.20. Additionally, to change the grade level of building maintainer 2 from grade level 4 in the salary matrix to grade 4, with an increase in the wage of $21.75 an hour for Aaron Passalacqua to $25.86. Louis seconded.
Okay.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Nay. Reclassified position of recreation senior clerk and salary matrix and increased wage of senior clerk.
The resolution was going to be to change her senior clerk position from grade 4 in the salary matrix to grade 7. There was going to be an increase from $19.08 an hour to $20, but it's not going to happen because she just got a raise during, I think it was $5,000 during the budget. During the budget, so it'll be a null for that. Just that it'll be go from level 4 to level 7, but no increase.
No increase.
No increase.
Okay, second that.
Second day?
Yep.
Can I?
Discuss-
Yeah, a
discussion,
question.
yes.
So Dave, that means we can you're gonna put the people at the appropriate level. And
Level,
down-
right.
and down the road, if it's
Down
merited.
the road,
If it's merited through job performance,
Right.
then that person can go to level 7.
right.
Okay.
Yes and
No,
no.
they're already gonna be the level 7.
We didn't, we, in the process, we kept telling ourselves, it's not about the person. So that, job performance, I think, is a separate issue.
Okay.
This is about job description and where it falls in
Okay.
the steps. So I know there may be issues with employee A and how they do their job, but we only looked at what the job is. So I don't know, that's got to figure into your answer somehow.
I guess what I'm asking, okay, say, for instance, okay, that we have an employee or whatever, and the employee does a good job. Okay, I know that it's not based, I'm saying that we have an already employee. At some point in time, can that employee go up to the associated salary with the level 7?
Oh, so I guess it certainly would be another case for doing that, their performance.
Okay, I don't know, maybe I didn't ask the question, but that's kind of, I just want
Well,
to make sure that at some point.
If they came up for a salary increase, we know that she went from a 4 to a 7, so we'd have to see what her salary is now and look at the midpoint or whatever it is, where her salary is now to the midpoint. I know I discussed this with Jim Spina this morning of doing this to these 3 people, and he was in agreement.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
so you take a vote.
Yeah. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Resolution.
Motion
Wait
passes.
a minute,
I'm in opposition. Q,
Resolution to
change wage of recreation
Recreation
leader.
Paul Russo from $14 an hour to the starting grade 5 in the matrix system of $17.49. We decided not to do this because he is just a rehired, newly rehired. And grade at $14 an hour. And it'll be the same thing. It'll show that in the record that he's a level 5, grade 5, and in the future be the same as with Missy and the rest of them in the future. If there's going to be a wage increase, we'll look at it and see where they are with the midpoint or whatever they are, where they fall.
Okay, so if we're not gonna do anything with this, I'll make the motion. If no one seconds it, then it dies, okay? So change of wage of recreation leader, is there a second? Seeing no second, it dies.
What are we making a motion on?
Q.
Okay, so you're not gonna change the grade or anything? Right?
Was,
You're not changing the grade or anything?
Dave?
Oh, that's what I said, change the grade, but no,
Is
it's
that
not
the
going to
grade
get a
change?
raise. That was my,
Okay, then we should
Resolution.
do it like the others. The grade should change, but not the
yeah,
number.
no more money.
All right,
Okay.
so we need to go
You
back.
guys
to
make the
our-
motion.
Make a motion that recreation leader Paul Russo will go to a grade 5 level in the salary matrix with no raise.
Second.
Discussion?
Got it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Nay. Reclassify position of Commissioner of Parks and Recreation and salary matrix and increase wage of Commissioner of Parks and Recreation.
Resolution to change the grade level of the Commission of Parks and Recreation from a grade level 11 in the salary matrix to the grade level 16 with an increase in wage from $73,185 a year to $78,000 a year.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Nay.
Nay.
It's 2 nays. Resolution, modify community center budget.
By increasing the resolution to modify the community center budget by increasing the salary lines of those who have received wage increases and do not do so through interfund transfer of $23,500 from the unappropriated fund balance on the general aid fund. It will not be $23,500. I was out of town today, so I didn't get with Bev to see what that was going to be.
Does anyone
So
want to
I would say make it at $23,500 or less. I'll make a motion for this, $23,500 or less, whatever comes in with those people not getting a raise.
I'll second that.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Nay. Next resolution, authorize modification of wage and salary matrix to reflect reevaluation of various positions.
Resolution to authorize additional to the wage and salary matrix of grade level 16 and 17.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Nay.
Nay.
Amended resolution, safe routes to schools. I make a motion to amend that resolution.
Second. You want mine?
It's a roll call vote on that, right?
It's there, it's just misplaced, I guess. Here, this is it.
Resolution reads, authorizing the implementation and funding in the first instance 100% of federally aid and state Marshall program aid eligible cost of a transportation federal aid project and appropriating funds therefor. There's a motion on the floor. I need a second.
I'll second.
Discussion. We have to take a roll call vote. Mrs. Greer?
Okay. Gregory Zarrow,
Yes.
Rich Toretta,
Yes.
Doug Avery,
Yes.
Dave Delaney,
Yes.
Lou Ferrara.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Give that back to Greg. I know it's there.
Okay. Any water and sewer credits?
Yes.
Yeah, we have one here. $424.76.
I make a motion to approve the water and sewer credits for $424.76.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. There's no need for an executive session. I make a motion to pay the bills.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes.